Disney friends. Sam from Sam's Disney Diary. That is the blue-haired blogger himself, Greg from Fantasyland News. We have breaking news, a special report, information dropped on Disney Parks blog this morning that just has us go boom, blowing our mind. Greg, we figured we got to jump on this. You guys can find us every Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern time on either the Fantasyland News YouTube channel or Sam's Disney Diary YouTube channel. We're there for you. We wanted to jump in now. Greg, what is going on?
Sam, it's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the Muppets on Sam and Greg Live tonight. Hey, Sam, did I ever tell you about the man with a flashlight in his ear? He was lightheaded.
No,
waka, waka, waka. So a guy walks up to me and asks, "Did you take a bath today?" And I say, "Why? Is one missing?"
Waka, waka.
Waka.
Look,
Thank
Muppets
you.
move, Monsters in, Aerosmith out, breaking news, lots happening. Like I mentioned, Greg, we wanted to jump into this, talk about it very briefly. If you're joining us live, we appreciate it. This was just on the cuff. Let's go. As I mentioned today, it's November the 22nd. The news dropped this morning on Friday regarding the big changes happening at Hollywood Studios. And Greg, we should have been aware of it, dude, because this past Wednesday, when I was on the road and we did the regular Wednesday show, we talked about that popcorn bucket hitting Hollywood Studios. And I think this whole announcement is just to sell popcorn buckets.
You know what? I'm okay with selling popcorn buckets, man. You want to sell me a popcorn bucket? You sold. No, I'm good. Let's go.
I'm with you.
Yeah. This is
so look, tonight.
Go ahead.
Tonight, Greg and I are going to high level go over the news that dropped. Then we're going to do some homework. We're going to come back with more for Wednesday night. So please be sure to join us Wednesday and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, Fantasyland News or Sam's Disney Diary YouTube channel. Greg, give me the highlights, or where do you want to start, my man?
Let's start at Monsters, Inc., the removal of the Muppets Courtyard, the removal of Muppets Vision 3D. Let's start with our love of the Muppets, and then our love of Monsters, Inc., and then we'll move on to what the future holds for the Muppets at
let's talk about that. I have the slides a little bit differently, but that's okay. We're going to go through
How
these.
about I follow your slides, and it's Friday, dude. I'm having fun.
We knew at the Ultimate Disney Fan Event, D23, back in August, that the Muppet coaster the Monsters, Inc. coaster is coming to Hollywood Studios. They did everything except tell us where it was going to go. They showed us concept art, including the image that you're seeing here of the meet and greet, concept art of Monstropolis in this big building, which is going to be the home to this roller coaster. And we speculated, is this going to be in Muppet's Courtyard? Or is this going to be in the animation courtyard? We knew one of those two is the most likely place that it would land. What Disney had showed us previously, the image we're looking at, you can't tell where this thing is. But
today, and that's great artwork. It wasn't until today that Disney Parks, Disney Imagineering finally decided to go, hey, guess what? Here's what the truth really is. And the truth really is, some people, listen, we understand some people are going to be really upset. We also know some people are not as upset and are very happy for this. We happen to fall in the middle. We're happy and sad, but Muppets Courtyard. You're looking at the new Monsters, Inc. land, which was the former
Monstropolis, right? They're calling it Monstropolis versus.
Are they calling it Monstropolis? I thought it was. I didn't hear Monstropolis.
I saw "Welcome to Monstropolis" on some of the signs, but either way,
to the world of Monsters, Inc. is basically it's what fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Now the interesting thing that I noticed, and I think we all one thing, Greg, and then I'm gonna let you go. The thing we knew. Everyone was going to be upset if they said this was going to in Muppet Courtyard and it was replacing Muppet Vision, which it is, which is why Disney waited until they had confirmation that they were going to move forward with another project, which is moving the Muppets to the Rockin' Roller Coaster to replace Aerosmith, to say, okay, the Muppets are moving. Does that make you Muppet fans happy? And it does.
But let's tamper everybody's expectations off of the get-go here. Because they have also come out and said that they are going to try and preserve Muppets Vision 3D and present it in a different way. Now, Sam, when we get to Rock and Roller Coaster, we'll talk more about that. I'm going to put a mark right there.
Yes, please.
I have thoughts on that.
As do I.
To this Muppets area, because as you enter the Muppets courtyard, what you are greeted with is not a Miss Piggy statue. We shall no longer waka waka this way. We now have a Mike Wazowski eyeball as the fountain area. That's your first clue. You are in a new area.
Absolutely. So and it also gives us a landmark, like Disney typically does. And we talked about this when we went through Animal Kingdom. The restrooms, the kitchens, and the plumbing doesn't change unless they absolutely have to. So
they're not changing anything. Yeah, there's not much that is changing. We are not seeing a major destruction of the land. No. I mean, look, if you're looking from left to right, there's Pizza Rizzo's on your left-hand side. That big building
Royal Flush, the restaurant, and then right there.
The white building would be the corner store where Santa is meeting right now. Nope, go over to your left a little bit. So we're going, up towards the corner right there.
Yep.
That is, It's a Wonderful Christmas store. And then to your right would be a little bit possibly what Mama Melrose was, and the Disney Studio One store. That is now Harryhausen's restaurant. Hopefully they're selling sushi.
Great, dude, straight from the animated classic. Gotta love that.
You know what, Michael? It actually is going to eat into that.
We're going to talk about that in 1 second, because we did go aerial. So let's take a look. But
Greg, so welcome in. Holly, welcome in. Rory said, welcome in.
Yes.
And Vlad, welcome in, everybody.
Yeah, glad you can make it. This is like, let's just jump in, because holy cow, this stuff's awesome. Keep going around the circle.
Hey, Sam, real quick. Why did the motorcycle keep falling over?
Waka waka.
Because the motorcycle was too tired.
Too tired. Waka waka.
Waka waka waka.
Setting up the Muppets. That's all he's doing. Keep moving. So here's my question: the theater that currently houses Muppet Vision 3D. That is not, the roller coaster is not going into Muppet Vision 3D. Let's be completely clear. This is net new construction that's off property or outside of what would be considered the berm today in cast member parking. You're absolutely right. Whoever mentioned that a second ago. What is going in there? A new theater experience?
The Monstro. So it looks like Muppet Vision 3D will be.
Mayor, I hope that you are absolutely right, because I have been wanting that all along. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong thing here, Greg. She suggested that they move it to Pittsburgh. Yes, that's exactly what I want them to do with it.
Yes, then I'll never get to see Sam down here at Disney World. So the Monstro, and it looks like there's the screaming. I wish I had that. I can zoom in on that, but there's actually a show in there. The Scream. But yeah, that new theater, the Muppet Vision 3D theater, is now called the Monstro, which is a callback.
So there are two thoughts that came to mind. Is this a net new thing, or is this a new place where they could potentially take Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor to get room in Tomorrowland? Don't know.
That's a great question. I don't think they're moving Laugh Floor. This looks like a new Late Night Screams is what it's called. So could they update Laugh Floor and move it over? Absolutely, they could, but that brings up other things that we see in these images. There is an actual image of Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor in this on one of the billboards.
It's on a billboard. I think it's this one right here over on the left, but it made me wonder if there was a possibility that they would relocate that into a new location here in the old Muppet Vision Theater. And like I said, you do that now, that could be a domino that needs to fall before they do something in Tomorrowland. Don't know. It was an interesting thought. And by the way, sorry, lady, I'm quoting as well. Sorry. Had to.
Yeah.
Sorry, lady. That's my quote.
Hey, VP,
that's a goofy mask.
In.
That's no mask. All right. So
are they going to be? Hold on, I didn't read that. Let's do stores back there. No. So that Harryhausen's, if you're looking at the dead center where Harryhausen's is,
Yes.
That is Studio One store.
Yes. And
What you
let's get
don't
into
see is that
here.
behind there, the courtyard. Yeah. So
Let's get into that now.
Harryhausen's Sushi
Is
Bar?
it here? Harryhausen's is coming, man. There it is right there. You can see it plain as day.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Is it sit down? Is it counter service? I hope it's sit down. Enjoying the fireworks? No, you're on my foot. This is the roller coaster that was announced at the expo. This was footage that I took from the expo floor that includes the complete track system and the layout. And this is what the Monster Inc. coaster is going to look like. We saw this at D23 Expo. We saw details of it. What we didn't know is where it was going to go. So what I've done is taken this image here, Greg, and you and I are going to do this together, because let's now take a bird's eye view looking straight down on Hollywood Studios. This is the existing Muppet courtyard. Now, keep in mind, it's flipped upside down because of north, south, east, and west and the way it works. This is what we have today, Greg. This is the Muppet Vision Theater next to the store with Pizza Rizzo's and Mama Melrose. You could see the Miss Piggy fountain right in the middle, which will become the eyeball fountain for Monsters, Inc. We saw that. This is what we got today, right?
Yes.
So
this is what we got today.
This is what we have today. So this is what we believe that we are getting. And I'm with a few people in the chat here that are saying it looks like they're going to tear down the store. Maybe, maybe not. I think Greg is right. I think what we have here is something coming into the theater. The Monsters Coaster building, if you looked at the concept art, gets very, very close to the edge of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Right. This is Rise.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the walls perfectly. From,
right. They're going to be right next to each other, and that's fine, right? It's all backstage. We're going to lose some parking lot. That's okay. That's what happened with Guardians of the Galaxies, right? You lose some parking lot. The sit-down restaurant appears to be the studio store and kind of closing in. That's the Harryhausen's, right?
Now I can see what VP is saying here. It looks like a demo, and we both agree that is a possibility. And what it looks like is Mama Melrose kind of gets kicked out on the one side, to open up that area. Because
remember, they're not going to move the kitchen. They're not going to move the quick service and sit down. Are both going to be there.
Yeah, they're going to keep those up.
Let's go back for a second, because if you're walking in through the Muppet courtyard, you come in the front gate, you hit that fountain, and you make a left. And basically, you look straight ahead right to the center of this Monsters Coaster building. So if I go back to that concept art, that is walking in past the fountain, look to the right, straight down into that building. So we believe that this restaurant is Mama Melrose, and the store's gone and repurposed the land. But
so this would be the walkway where the exit of Muppets Vision 3D is now, and you make a left immediately, and you wouldn't pass the large Kermit statues.
That's right. The Kermit statues are gone.
Yep,
you got it. You're going straight in. It's a straight shot, and this is where I think it's going to be mostly parking lot. And I am great, Greg, anytime they are building net new attraction for a park in space that wasn't something previously, whatever Muppet Vision will become this new show. We don't know what it is, but that's what's going to happen.
I saw somebody on Facebook on Instagram before we came on, who basically shows an aerial shot of all of Hollywood Studios, including all the parking lots, including everything. And they're like, look at how much space they have per parking, and you want to destroy this one little section. And it's
they do. And they're
because they have everything built in already.
That is cast member parking, and this building backstage is costuming.
And that puts the Muppets closer to Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. We could just do Muppets in space.
It does. And by the way, this is Star Tours right here, this long building. This is Star Tours. And that's why I speculated away from this location, because if this is Star Tours and this is Rise of Resistance, it would be easy to use that land for something else Star Wars, and you can bridge those two things together. But clearly there's another thing someplace.
Right. And again, because of look, we saw Monsters Inc. laugh floor sign up. Are they going to try and put all of one IP inside of one park? Or are they going to keep the IPs being divvied out around the different areas? Like, are you going to keep Monsters Inc. at Tomorrowland? Are you going to bring it over to Hollywood Studios? I don't think they're going to have 2 shows. So we don't know what's going to happen there.
We don't know.
There's a lot of stuff they
think
can
there
do.
might be something to that relocating Laugh Floor or Laugh Floor Plus. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like the next version of it, not the same. But yeah, Greg, you followed Mayor's parking joke.
I did. I've been in that parking lot one too many times, crying over a Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
We need Muppet Land. So let's talk about that for a second, because one of the things, Greg, that you and I just experienced in this studio store for Jollywood Nights was the new photo opportunity that they have, right?
Yeah. Well, how great was that?
I did when I went in that store, dude. What's the first thing I did when I went in that store?
We looked for Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem, baby, sitting on top of the ceiling.
Mayhem had historically been in that building, up on a balcony. Absolutely love them. I got pictures of them everywhere. I just couldn't find one in time for this show. They were not there.
Right.
What?
A lot of the Muppet stuff was missing from that store.
But dude, if that Electric Mayhem ends up over at the Rockin' Roller Coaster in a queue in any fashion, I am absolutely all for it. I love it.
I'm going to say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I am so happy that I will never have to hear the words Powerline, Rockin' Roller Coaster again in my life. I hate Max Goof. I'm so happy there's no Powerline rock. Yeah, the Electric Mayhem, dude. I am all about the mayhem.
Dude, we heard No Doubt. We heard so many band names come through. It was going to be the Hannah Montana coaster back in the early 2000s. There's a whole bunch of them you could go down.
Give me the Garth Brooks country and western roller coaster of bull ride.
So this is the big news that dropped, which was, Muppet Vision 3D is going away, but the Rockin' Roller Coaster is now going to feature the Muppets. Aerosmith is on the way out. And look, Greg, I've said on the show before that there are 2 attractions inside of Walt Disney World that are not Disney properties where they are paying royalty checks. And they're both at the end of Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
Aerosmith and Tower Terror. Right. Aerosmith, they're not going to be paying them a check much longer. And by the way, Aerosmith merchandise disappeared a couple of years ago. I don't know if you noticed. All the merch
still Loungefly and stuff. There's still
but it's like Mickey Mouse on it. It's not necessarily they did it a little bit, but anyway.
Was there? There was many people who hoped for this to happen many times.
Now, entertainment fan, I want to extend on what you're saying there, right? Because yes, there were lots of rumors. And do we need a Muppet themed area? What I wanted to talk about was the area in general, because look, Imagineers have a plan somewhere. And if you look at the courtyard that is Rockin' Roller Coaster and potentially even the building that was Lightning McQueen and is now Villains, that entire area, the restrooms, the shopping carts, all that stuff could become Muppet themed. So Greg,
I'm with you. I'm with you on that, because once we heard the rumors, or not the rumors, once Disney said that they were going to try and preserve Muppet Vision 3D and try and present it in a different light, what brought to mind was Lightning McQueen and the Villain Show. That Villain Show is not going to be around for very long. It is only a holdover. Now, what if that area becomes...
Dude, that's all about testing for Villains Land. You know that.
Right.
Yeah.
What if that area now becomes all of Muppets Land or Muppets Courtyard version 2, and we get 3D or a version of 3D, a digitized version that you could do in there? You don't need a giant theater for it anymore. It was not filling up the place like other rides were. It was a good place to sit down and relax. But overall, you were not packing that theater like it was. It's sad. Listen, we all understand. It's sad losing a bit of Jim Henson. It's heartbreaking. But to know that it could possibly return again in another place
Yeah.
I think
Or
that's
something.
acceptable. That's a good
Like, clearly
trade-off.
they know the fans love Muppet Vision. It's quotable. We all love it. I mean, what foolishness would you like to see? How many shout outs do you think we're going to get? Even in the, I'm running the pre-show right now for Aerosmith, because just that, I'm thinking, if they keep it the way it is, what could they do here in this pre-show? Oh my God.
You got to get Moog. Moog's coming back. He's going to bring in the record producer. They're going to be like, rock on. Give me mayhem. Bring me mayhem.
Now, so you have all of this up front.
Yeah.
Then, dude, think about just the whole interior of Rock and Roller Coaster.
Do you think it turns into the mayhem bus?
The mayhem bus? I don't know. I want to see a bus sitting right there, dude. Would it be cool if there's a bus sitting there and all the gears like all over the place and they're in that little spot jamming down there? Which, by the way, think about the music, dude. Moving right along. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Just pull out some of the mayhem stuff that was originally written for them. There's so much history with Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem. It's ridiculous. That is an IP that I thought we were going to see more of when the show was out on Disney Plus before they removed it and canceled it. So now let's again be very real, Sam. Had they announced Muppet Vision 3D and the Muppet Courtyard going away and not announced Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster, riots.
They knew what was going to happen, which is why they didn't do it at the Ultimate Fan event. They just showed us concept art, but clearly they knew that. Now, Greg, continuing what we talked about before, this is part of the area in front of Rock and Roller Coaster.
There's a lot of space.
And when you look down from Rock and Roller Coaster, you have the coasters here, the entire courtyard area. Clearly, you can't do anything with where the Tower Terror is, but this Villains Experience, this whole thing wide open to Muppets, and inside of the coaster, the queue area, all the things they could do. So many shout outs. I can't wait.
And then let's also mention that right behind Villains Experience that's there, or Lightning McQueen, there's parking garages and office buildings that are old, and they may be tearing them down. The office buildings
and that ties right back to the launch bay.
Yeah. So there is a lot more space, especially on this side of Hollywood Studios, that if you were to zoom out just a little bit, which I know we can't do right now, but there is a lot more land that Disney can use. Now, let's just talk like we talked before. You want to fill in the footprint that's already there. You want to use the same electric. You want to use the same plumbing, everything that's already there. And
so the restrooms stay, retheme them.
Yes.
But do you still think about it? What do you do with the guitar? Do you keep it? Do you let the cord of the guitar go and put some?
No, get rid of everything Aerosmith. Come on, they're dead like Steven Tyler is. He just doesn't know he's dead yet.
I don't know.
Oh man, I used to love Aerosmith back in the day. I'm so happy to not hear Walk This Way one more time in my lifetime.
Loving an Elevator is cool. You gotta love the end of Loving an Elevator. So when you look at, we kind of skip by the concept art. Let's go back for a second.
No, let's go back.
Because in that, I'm seeing the Electric Mayhem, Kermit and Piggy. I mean, that's who we got.
No. Whoa. You're seeing Electric Mayhem. What you're seeing is Dr. Teeth. You're seeing Lip. You see Zoot. You see Janice. You see Floyd Pepper. You see Animal, which make up Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, baby. Along with
you are right.
Carmen and Miss Piggy. Dude, I am a Mayhem fan, if you haven't realized.
Oh, no, I love the Mayhem. I also love the colors of that ride vehicle. Amazing.
This poster is an update of what they had for Electric Mayhem on Disney Plus with the addition of Kermit and Piggy. But that is the exact same image they used for Disney Plus. And that is a little bit of a clue on what we could see coming.
I can't wait to see it. Cannot wait to see it, Greg. That's for sure. And there's tons of space there. And by the way, Wednesday night, I was on the road. I was a little handicapped because of bandwidth being north of the border. That's fixed now, thank goodness. So we had talked about the latest magnet, right? And you shared last week's magnet, Animal, number 13 of 70. There are 70 magnets, one a week, coming to Walt Disney World. If you've been there and didn't know, did you see today's?
Did I see today's, my friend? Of course I saw today's. And baby,
I knew that
it's Walter.
It's Walter. Number 14 is Walter. I had to go back and rethink the sizing of the old ones.
I am going tomorrow in the morning to go see Wicked because I want to be popular. I know about popular. And I'm getting my Muppets magnets.
I was going to see if you were going to, you're also going to Moana. You're doing a D23 thing. Am I right?
On Tuesday, my friend. Yes. Okay. And what's weird down here is Wicked is on the big screen for this weekend only. And starting Tuesday, because Moana comes out, Moana takes over the big screen. It's kind of, they're kind of fighting it out on who takes what. Like Gladiator 2 came out, Wicked came out. Moana 2 came out. Hi, I'm happy to be a movie fan.
It's a holiday weekend, brother. It's a holiday weekend. So look, when I first called you, Greg, I'm like, we got to talk about this. It's breaking news. Let's get on top of these changes that are coming to studios. We'll talk for 10 minutes and tell people to head over to Fantasyland News and Sam's Disney Diary. And here we are, 30 minutes into this. But if you have not seen the show before and you like this sort of information, that's exactly what Greg and I do every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock this week at Walt Disney World. You can find it at Fantasyland News, Sam's Disney Diary, the YouTube channels, all that good stuff. So much, Greg.
Hey, Sam.
We can keep talking, I know.
What's a frog's favorite candy?
A frog's favorite candy?
A lollipop. Waka, waka, waka. As always,
how many hidden references are we going to be able to get? That's what I want to know. How much?
So many. I mean,
I didn't mean to do that. Apologies.
What was that, Sam? It's a Friday night and you're like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I am Kermit going to the Monsters.
All right. I'm so fired up. Monsters is cool. It looks good. We're losing Muppet Vision. You know what? I went to Muppet Vision last time I was down. The theater was empty. It's unfortunate. And I kept thinking, this is unfortunate. I don't like this. It's not good. Although Pizza Rizzo's had the best snack for Jollywood Nights. That meatball back there. Don't know if you got to try it. It is the best. I am a fan of Mama Melrose too. I'm going to miss that. I'm a fan of
Mama Melrose just updated their menu. So listen, this is like, and I want to be clear, this is like the riverboat. This is like Tom Sawyer Island. This is not going away this year. This is months and months away. You have time to enjoy it. You have time to get memories.
That was the last line in the Parks blog, right? There's still time to catch final performances.
That's what they're saying. Here's what we don't have time for. We don't have time to enjoy Disney's Animal Kingdom Dino Land USA. That's right. What we don't have time for. Go see that if you're coming down for the holidays. And believe me, Sam, we are going to talk about this on Tuesday or on Wednesday a whole lot. Yeah. We're going to talk about the holidays we have been. But yeah, there's just so much going on. And as always, we truly appreciate every single one of you sticking around and watching this tonight. Again, it's Friday night. Go have some fun. Go watch Wicked. I don't know. We'll talk on Wednesday. We'll talk all things Moana 2. We got a lot more going on.
Moana 2. We'll talk this. We'll talk about, we'll hit 2 back on Big Thunder, right, dude? If you're going down for the holidays, ride Big Thunder. It's going to go offline for a year. And it's going to come back and be even better. We hope. Don't know.
I gotta say, Sam, at the end of all this, I'm really excited. The future, again, and I've said this once D23 hit, as people who cover Disney, we have a 5-year plan. We have so much going on that we're going to be able to talk about this. And we appreciate all of you watching, and we appreciate everybody hanging out with us. And who knows? Maybe you'll get another one where Greg just starts singing and doing Muppet jokes. Tonight was Fozzie Bear, Waka Waka. As always, go to samsdisneydiary.com, Sam's Disney Daily on Instagram, Sam's Disney Diary on YouTube. Go on here, Fantasyland News. If you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate it. Go to the articles at fantasyland.com, Fantasyland News blog on Instagram. We're on every avenue. Both of us are there. So we appreciate everybody. And I'm going to say, Sam, Waka Waka Waka.
Waka, Greg, somewhere somebody has the image of the Muppet courtyard that's going to take over the Aerosmith courtyard, and I can't wait for them to show us. Until then, see you Wednesday night.